All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Hold My Nugget Studios, where we're about to break down our 2019 NFL Week 2 pregame analysis. I'm the host of the show, the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual, the Chiseled Adonis. Now, I had a couple of people who gave me some suggestions on what we should do for the pre- and post-game picks. Maybe use some footage, maybe use some graphics on the screen so we can show who we're talking about or the plays that transpired. I tried it. Guess what happened? This very same video, they flagged it for copyright. I can't win. Listen, when things are righteous and they're justice sort of situations on YouTube, when it comes to the Chiseled Adonis, there is none. All right, I can't use footage because it gets flagged down for other content creators, but nothing. The rules ain't geared set right for me, okay? I had a commentary on a boxing goddamn match. All right, 5 minutes I did on this joint. They flagged it in Brazil. The fight took place in Japan between an American and a Japanese man. What that got to do with Brazil? Did they give me my, the authority to post it? Absolutely not. So I ain't posted because you're not going to get paid off of my hard work. It's ridiculous. I do all of this for free. I don't see no damn check. And the ones that they send me, it's rather little. I'm struggling out here, but we ain't talking about that right now. Go to my Patreon if you want to support me in the way I'm trying to live, man. I'm eating nothing right now. I'm eating my mother's food. I'm eating all right, okay? But let's break down what's going to transpire in week 2 of the NFL season. First and foremost, tonight, Thursday Night Football, we got a little bit of a battle in the NFC South. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to take on the Carolina Panthers. Now, for this particular game, only one injury that has been noted. It's Greg Olsen. He's a little bit questionable. We're not sure if he's going to play or not. I think he's going to play. Hopefully, we see this man go into the end zone because the past couple of years, he has not been able to finish the season and stay healthy. When he's healthy, he's one of the better tight ends in the league. All right? Now, if he's on the field, if he's off the field, he has to be accounted for. But there's one man that Tampa Bay needs to make sure they have circled, and that's how the white man runs the football. Run CMC, Christian McCaffrey. You got to have your eyes on this man at all times. Now, Cam Newton, you've seen how he played last week. It took a little bit of time for him to get into rhythm. And as I said last video, the Panthers ran out of time. The Rams escaped with the W. So I think the Panthers will keep that momentum going this particular game and run over the Bucs. Now, for the Bucs, they got to be able to take care of the football. Jameis threw 2 pick sixes last week. This cannot happen against this Panthers defense. He's got to be able to take care of the football. On the ground, I don't know what they're going to do. Peyton Barber has never really been one of those running backs who impressed me like that. He's an average back. If he can set up third and manageable for Jameis, look for O.J. Howard. Look for Mike Evans. Be able to bring the ball down the field. As for a game plan, utilize the intermediate routes and take a shot deep with Mike Evans. Take a shot every other drive. I'd say, or if it's there, if it works once, keep doing it. Because I've always been a proponent of if it's not broke, don't fix it. So if you take a shot early, if it's working, keep going to it. But utilize the intermediate sort of area. And for the Bucs, or I should say for the Panthers, do what you always do. You playing against the Bucs, man. Gerald McCoy, this is going to be him playing against his old team. So that D-line's going to be firing on all cylinders. He's looking for a reason to hit the hell out of Jameis Crablegs Winston. And I think it's fixing to happen. I got the Panthers winning this game by at least a touchdown and a field goal. So that's 10 for you guys who don't know math. Now, next. Sunday games. Cardinals traveling to take on Baltimore. There's going to be a lot of necrophilia in this game. Baltimore's schedule is rather favorable to open up the season, but I'll say this. T-Sizzle returning back to Baltimore. That's going to be a very emotional moment. All right? You remember the times in which Ed Reed returned back to Baltimore in a different jersey. Remember, it didn't happen. They didn't get that opportunity. When he was on Houston, they didn't play against Baltimore in Baltimore. When he was on the Jets, they didn't play against Baltimore in Baltimore. That was in the same goddamn season. Now, as for T-Sizzle, he gets his moment to go back over there. As for the Cardinals, yeah, it's not going to really play out very well for them. Offensively, they started very slow last game. They did pick it up in the fourth quarter and overtime. However, that Ravens defense is something serious, and I do not trust that offensive line for Kyler Murray. He's going to be running for his life. And you know what happens to rookie quarterbacks when they run for their life? They make bad decisions. They throw the ball on the run, sometimes across the field. And the Ravens, like I said, have one of the top 2 secondaries in the league along with the New England Patriots. So they're fixing to pick that off. I think Earl Thomas might just have himself a couple this year. Remember last year when I kept making the predictions about DJ Swearinger catching interceptions, and every single time it happened to be true? I'm not going to make that same declaration for this time around. However, I do believe Marlon Humphrey or Earl Thomas will have a pick 6. All right, that's the way I see it. I got the Ravens rolling over the Cardinals. Next, 49ers traveling to take on Cincinnati in Cincinnati. Cincinnati impressed me. All right, they really impressed me this past game. Somebody may be calling me. I think it's somebody from Arizona. Don't count us out. We can still play. No, I'm not going to pick up the phone. Go to the answering machine. Hear yourself take this L. All right, you hear me, Arizona? I'm sorry, Fitz. I know you're in the Dreadlocks Hall of Fame, but it's facts, man. You guys don't get your ass whipped. Now, like I was saying, the 49ers traveling to Cincinnati. O-H-I-O. You think the Bengals go win? I actually do. I was going to say hell no, but I think the Bengals might actually win this game. I'm not liking the flow of the 49ers offense, man. I'm not liking the flow. Now, granted, the offensive line for Seattle has been in question for what transpired last week, where you gave up 4 sacks. All right, but this particular time around, I'm not sure if the Bengals going to be able to get to Jimmy Garoppolo as often, but I think the Bengals offense will be able to put points on the board. You just saw this 49ers defense catch 2 pick sixes, so you never know. Andy Dalton might not give you back-to-back 400-yard days. He may not give you back-to-back no interception days. Or I should say back-to-back games, interception days. But I think this Bengals team might, they played a very good game last game and they went down swinging. I think they should be able to pull out this W against the 49ers. Now, this game can go either way, all right? This game can go either way. Garoppolo got to take care of the football. I'd like to see them run the football well. I've always felt as if you can run against Cincinnati. Last week, you didn't see a running presence from Seattle against Cincinnati. So maybe they're better against the run or whatever the case may be. But I think the Bengals might just get this W. However, not having A.J. Green on the field and needing to get the ball to John Ross, I think that's going to be a little bit limiting. All right, so we'll see. I'm going to lean Cincinnati. This is one of those games in which I think it can change. Because come Sunday, I can mess around and say, you know what, 49ers, I'm going to pick them to win. I think I'll have to do my update on who I think is going to win later in the week. Probably once Sunday gets going. I think I'll put that on Twitter. For you guys who don't follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. I'm live, tweeting during all of the games on Sundays, of course. And probably during Thursday or whatever. But I got the Bengals winning this game. That's subject to change. Next, Vikings taking on the Packers. NFC North matchup. Now, this game is going to be very interesting because the only person who needs to be circled for this entire game is Dalvin Cook for the Vikings. All right? And for the Packers, you just got to circle, Aaron Rodgers. Okay? Because I'm going to be very interested in what these two have to bring to the table. First off, Dalvin Cook played absolutely stupendous in week 1 against the Falcons. He has to be able to bring that presence to this game against the Packers because what did we see happen? As I said, last video about what happened in week 1. If you can run the football effectively and give Aaron Rodgers, or I should say, if you run the football effectively and take away, that run defense of the Packers, and now Kirk family member has time and he's able to throw the ball. He has, exposure to the entire playbook. I think the Vikings can mess around, go into Lambeau, and walk out with a W. Now for the Packers, it's the exact same thing. Now on the ground, I don't expect to see too much, but with Aaron Rodgers, can you get the ball into the end zone? Because last game you only had 1 really good drive. Well, 2, because you did get Mason Crosby into field goal range. But outside of that, there really was only 1 drive. So I'm interested to see how things play out. These games always go down to the wire. So I'm expecting a very entertaining game. Hopefully we don't end in a tie like we did last year, where we had Daniel Carlson go out and miss 3 kicks. But I got the Packers winning this game. Something about the Packers this year, they seem like they're just some men on a mission. Not to get cheese, but to go to the playoffs and advance to the division or ultimately get kicked out. But got the Panthers, the Packers winning this game. Then we got the Chargers, Lions. Derwin James, he's still out. All right, so Chargers fans, I've had a couple people, when Derwin James coming back? You're on the internet. Use Google. Figure it out. All right, use your common sense. That's stupid. But for this particular game, both teams that blew a lead that ended up leading into overtime. Unfortunately for the Lions, they screwed themselves over, calling timeout, and thus ending in a tie. For the Chargers, Phillip Wheels Rivers was able to bring them down the field, and then Austin Elker went into the end zone. Now, I'll say this. I think the Chargers will mess around and win this game. They should be able to win this game. They got more firepower than the Lions. As for analytically breaking it down, the Lions just don't got to make mental mistakes. They looked like they were firing on all cylinders for 3 quarters, and then they fell apart. But from what I saw, it wasn't as if, they were so, great on the field. They were playing against the Cardinals, and it was 2 teams that are pretty much struggling to get things done. And Stafford, outside of Jones, he doesn't really have too much pieces around him to make things happen. So I'm going to roll with the Chargers to win this game. I think they should be able to run the football with Austin Eckler or with Justin Jackson. So whatever the case may be, utilize the run, because you did see Eckler show he's multifaceted in the offense. The man was catching passes, I think 96 yards through the air, about 58. I'm going with 58 yards on the ground. So that's a good number of all-purpose yards. And Phillip Rivers, if he has to dump the ball off, he will dump the ball off. And of course, Keenan Allen is due for a big-time game, so I expect to see that. But unfortunately, they did lose Hunter Henry, fractured knee, so that's going to suck. Maybe they might pick up the phone and call Antonio Gates one more time, and then we'll have old people touchdowns some more. But I expect the Chargers to win this game. Jags taking on the Texans. This game is something that you might want to circle, because it may not be all high, power sort of thing, because I expect the Texans to win this game. But the matchups is going to be very, very interesting. You got Jalen Ramsey taking on DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Bouye, and Will Fuller. It's going to be very, very entertaining. Deshaun Watson just needs to be protected, because the man got sacked 6 times Monday night against New Orleans. This can't happen. You can't keep getting this man hit left and right. Why do you think Andrew Luck just retired? Offensive line got to get their heads out of their butt cheeks. I think they sacked Patrick Mahomes, the Jacksonville Jaguars sacked Patrick Mahomes maybe once or no times. I think it may be no time. No, they sacked him once. I believe they may have sacked him once. Somebody let me know. It's either one. I know it's not 2. There's no multiple sacks. It must have only been 1 or 0. But for the Jags, there's a little bit of a problem. At quarterback, you don't got Nick Foles. He's out until at least week 10. Who you got is you traded for Josh Dobbs from the Steelers, and you also picked the, starting from, came in from last game. I just remember the first name. It's Gardner Minshew. All right, I didn't know his first name. I only knew his last name. So Minshew probably gonna mess around and start, because it'd be way too soon to bring in Dobbs and expect this man to run the offense. So I'm interested to see what Minshew would do. However, it's gonna be a little bit of a problem, because the Jags O-line ain't nothing too special. So I expect to see J.J. Watt finally make a presence on the season. I expect to see Whitney Merciless find his way into the backfield as well, stop some runs, and also get some quarterback sacks there too. So I got the Texans winning this game. Just protect Deshaun Watson. And D-Hop versus Ramsey. Ooh, get your popcorn ready. I expect this to be there's gonna be gritty. They're gonna be talking. The dreadlock power is gonna be on display. And every time Ramsey plays against a big time player, he usually shows up and he's ready to play football. So I'm excited. I'm giddy to see that matchup. But I got the Texans winning. New England traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. This is always a tough game. Not because of, it is the Dolphins. No, because New England playing in Miami, it's always tough. It's not an easy game. Everybody talking about 69-0, the Dolphins absolutely suck, all this other stuff. No, that's ludicrous, okay? 34-3. That's probably a better sort of number, because this Dolphins team ain't what they were in the past couple of years where New England struggled to win in Miami. Now, I don't think New England's going to be firing on all cylinders as they usually do, but the offense for the Dolphins they're so abysmal, I don't expect them to be able to move the football. Defensively, I think they'll have a couple of opportunities to get Brady a couple of times. I think they'll intercept him, because Xavier Howard is one of the better corners in the league. So I expect to see that man go out there and probably catch an interception here or there. But outside of that, the offense may not produce. I don't know what they're going to do. Whether it's going to be starting Fitzpatrick, whether it's going to be Rosen. I think for the time being right now it's still Fitzpatrick. So we'll see. He can pull magic out of his ass. If Josh Rosen goes in there, that's going to be kind of tough. But you never know. I got New England winning. I did say 34-3. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be like a touchdown, 2-touchdown spread. Everybody's thinking blowout. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be very, very competitive. And then in the second half, New England's just going to double down and run away with it. But I could be wrong, because this is still in Miami. There's miracles in Miami. Next, the Bills taking on the Giants. Now, this game, I got the Bills winning, because they just got to be able to start the way that they finished this past game when they played against the Jets. Funniest thing is that you're going to be on the road, still in New York, but you're going to be same stadium, so they really don't have to go nowhere. There's 3 names that I just need to have highlighted over here. John Brown, Cole Beasley, Zay Jones. Why is this important? What did you see last week against the Giants? You saw Randall Cobb, You saw Amari Cooper. You saw all these different receivers catching intermediate balls and destroying the Giants defense. So you have somebody like Cole Beasley who knows playing against the Giants and runs those routes and always finds a way to flourish. You got John Brown who can play exceptional in the slot, or he can play outside. You got Zay Jones. He could also go in the slot, or hell, if he's outside, make him run those in routes. Do things intermediate to move the football against the Giants because they simply cannot cover it. You saw that last week. Now, offensively for the Giants, Saquon. Give the ball to Saquon. Hey, Eli. You're dropping back. Throw it to Saquon. You're about to punt it to Saquon. Hand it to Saquon. Saquon Barkley. Can you say Saquon Barkley? Say it with Saquon Barkley. Give him the ball. When I look at the Giants' offensive stat line, what I had better see is offense, 46 snaps. Saquon Barkley, 32 carries, 16 receptions. Every single time, give the ball to this man. There's no business for Eli Manning to do 5-step drop. Give it to Saquon. Offensive coordinator just came out in the news talking about, we're going to spice things up this upcoming week. Expect some changes on the offensive court. Give it to Saquon. Give the ball to Saquon. Defensively, I'm not too sure what I expect to see from there, but keep Josh Allen in the pocket. If you allow him to use his feet and he's moving the football, you can consider this game done because he's going to end up going out there looking like Blake Bortles. He may not throw for too many yards, but he will be able to run. He did throw a touchdown last week against New York to give the Bills the lead, so it's going to be interesting, but I expect Buffalo Wild Wings to walk into the Meadowlands and walk out with a W and stay in the state of New York. I think they play at home next week. I can't recall, but I have to look at the schedule. But I have the Bills winning this game. Next, Colts, Titans, NFC South matchup. These games are always entertaining. One name that got to be highlighted, Derrick Henry. Why is that? Austin Eckler, when he played against the Colts last week, as I said earlier, 58 yards on the ground, 96 yards through the air. What did we just see from Derrick Henry? About 80 yards on the ground, 75-yard touchdown through the air. So do the same thing. Be multifaceted on the field. Be a 3-down back. Catch some passes out of the backfield, which he's not really accustomed to, but you can do it against this Colts defense. Now, for Tennessee, you just saw them shellac that high-powered Browns offense. They may not know how to play together, but shellacked that high-powered Browns offense. Okay, Baker Mayfield had that one drive, and that was it. They had another drive when they went down the field, but that was it. So what do you expect to see from this Titans defense? I expect to see Logan Ryan, Malcolm Butler, and the other guys in the secondary blanket and shut down Adoree Jackson, shut down T.Y. Hilton and everybody else out there. That's what they got to do. And up front, they got to bring pressure. They've got to bring pressure. Because remember, as I said before, Jacoby Brissett, he was one of the highest sack quarterbacks when he was starting 2 years ago. Now, this Colts offensive line is no joke, but they've shown their resiliency, I might add as well, last week coming back from, being down 16-3 or 16-7, whatever the case may be. But I have the Titans winning this game because offensively, I think Derrick Henry will have one of those games where it's about 50 yards through the air and 100 on the ground. I don't think the Colts defense is going to be able to stop him, but you never know. The Colts, I believe in Jacoby Brissett, I do. But this particular game, I don't think he's going to have enough in the tank to get it done. Next, Cowboys, Redskins. This game, interesting. Who to highlight here? Adrian Peterson, he will be starting. Darius Geist, his knee. He's going to be out. All right, so AP, he's going to be back. And a lot of people, they were talking in the locker room about AP not even being activated last game. So they've got his back, and he's fixing to show why they got his back. He's going to go out there and play exceptional. Is it going to be enough to defeat the Cowboys? I don't think so. Why? Well, Cowboys defense was firing on all cylinders last week. Okay, they was able to bring and generate pressure. They was able to cover people. That linebacking core is no joke. And you saw the Redskins blow a 17-0 lead. However, if I'm the Cowboys, here's one thing I take into consideration. You just saw D-Jax have 2 50-plus yard touchdowns. You got a speedster in Amari Cooper. Take a couple shots. Dak better be throwing the ball vertically down the field. Take a couple shots. Challenge him. Josh Norman always will give up a deep pass. That's what I expect to see happen. I got the Cowboys winning this game. Also, Zeke on the ground, he's got to be able to, go out and attack. Because last week, we didn't really see too much from Josh Howard on the ground, pardon me. Jordan Howard on the ground. We didn't see too much, regarding big-time yardage, but I expect to see Zeke get the ball a lot. And those Bama boys up front, Payne and Allen for the Redskins, they're going to be in for it in a battle against that Cowboys O-line. But I got the Cowboys winning against Washington. The Chiefs taking on the Raiders. No Tyreek Hill. But Patrick Mahomes is still going to be out there slinging it. The Raiders defense, they lost Jonathan Abram. So that secondary and that safety area, that's going to suck for them. I got the Chiefs winning this game. For the Raiders, they got to be able to stretch the field. That's your number one goal. You saw them do it with You saw them do it with Tyrell Williams this past Monday against Denver. Now, the Chiefs defense has always been, the same. They bend, they don't break. They'll give up a ton of yards. They won't let you score touchdowns. If I'm the Raiders, I want to be able to utilize my new, fresh, young rookie back in Joshua Jacobs. Use him the same way that I said that the Titans should use Derrick Henry. Dump the ball off to him. You saw him succeed out of the backfield catching passes. You saw him run the ball. You can do this against the Chiefs defense. All right, when you see players like a Le'Veon Bell who can catch out of the backfield and also run, they thrive when they play against the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, so utilize that against the Chiefs. Is it going to be enough? I'm not too sure. I don't think so. Derek Carr was slinging the ball on Monday. So who knows? This is a divisional opponent. They know each other very well. But I'm going to give the edge to Kansas City. I don't expect it to be no super blowout. I don't think that's going to be the case. Everybody talking about, well, the Raiders got their one victory for the year. They're about to lose like 6 straight. Nah, I think they could put up a good fight. But I think the Chiefs going to walk out with a W. Saints taking on the Rams. Redemption song. These songs of freedom. This is going to be interesting. Rematch of the NFC Championship. Throw the flag. We don't know how. Our eyes are just for decoration. This is going to be very interesting. First and foremost, for this particular game, you got to protect up front for both sides. And more importantly, Cooper Kupp is going to be on the field. Okay, this is going to be interesting. He may have played last game, but he didn't really have too big of it, usage. This particular game, from what I saw, they said Cooper Kupp is going to be playing a lot of snaps. So that's going to be very interesting. I said before, I believe he's the best receiver on their team, and more importantly, the most important receiver on that Rams front. I did mention last game, Todd Gurley ain't really do too much. He may have ran for 97 yards, but his presence wasn't, felt on the football field. This is a game in which it has to be felt. If I'm the Rams, up front, I've got to protect. You just saw the Saints go out there and sack Deshaun Watson 6 times. I cannot allow Jared Goff to suffer the same fate. So they got to be able to, one, protect Jared Goff. Jared Goff has to make sure he can stretch the field. Okay, you got speedsters in Brandon Cooks, get that ball down the field. You got a speedster in Robert Woods, get the ball down the field. And defensively for the Rams, you got your whole secondary there healthy. Okay, except Eric Weddle. He had the laceration. He had to leave the game, so I'm not sure when he'll be able to come back. Let me know the update on Eric Weddle. I actually did not see anything written about him on when he'll be able to come back and play, or if he's even going to be able to play this particular game. But I don't think he's going to be too huge of a factor. But that front seven, Clay Matthews, Aaron Donald, or Dante Fowler, they got to get after Drew Brees. And if I'm the Saints. Now, Alvin Kamara, he's got to have a high usage rate, man. Get him the football early, often. Michael Thomas, it's going to be a battle. But if you find a situation in which you set him up against Marcus Peters, you just sling it all day. He'll beat Peters all day. You put him against Talib, that's going to be here and there. You never know. Talib he's been waiting. I said 10th. Pick 6. No, it's 11th that he's waiting for. So, you never know. But this game going back and forth, but I think it's going to be redemption. I think the Saints going to walk into Los Angeles, walk out with the W. This is going to be very interesting. I'm very hyped for this game. This is going to be a great game. I wish it was in prime time. Then, Eagles taking on the Falcons. This game is just receivers. All right? Receivers. D-Jax, Julio, both got to do their job. And from what I saw from that Falcons defense, where they just gave up a ton of running last week to Dalvin Cook, I'm a little bit concerned, man. I'm a little bit concerned. Because of that, I think the Eagles going to score early and they're going to score often. And if the Falcons have to play catch-up, and now Matt Ryan, whose his offensive line has been abysmal, I'm a little bit concerned, man. I don't know if he's going to have the protection in order to get the ball down the field to a Calvin Ridley, to an Austin Hooper, to a Julio Jones, or dumping the ball off to a Devontae Freeman. That's why I got the Eagles winning. More importantly, because you saw Minnesota have their way with this Falcons defense, D-Jack, they're going to take a shot with him early. Early go down the field. And more importantly, Alshon Jeffrey can run inside. Nelson Aguilar can run inside. Eagles got too many pieces, man, and they might just surprise you and have Jordan Howard run for 100 yards. I wouldn't put it past him. I would not put it past him. Him and Darren Sproles, if you're playing fantasy, you might want to start them because I think both of them is going to have a game this game. I think they're going to have a game. I got the Eagles winning this game. I think Matt Ryan will be able to put up some points, but his defense will fail him. I think they're going to score at least 3 touchdowns, but that defense going to mess around and give up 5. I think it's going to be like 30, 35, 34, 38 to like 24 or 21, 27, whatever the case is. I got the Eagles scoring more than 30 points this particular game. They winning this game. Browns and Jets. Sam Darnold. This man wanted to play spin the bottle and start kissing ladies, all right? He wanted to do the tongue exercises with some harlots, or whatever the case may have been. He done messing around and got mono. He can't play. He can't play. Le'Veon Bell, he's getting MRI on his shoulder. They don't know what's going on. He might not be able to play. That sucks because I would have had the Jets winning this game. Remember, this is Monday Night Football. Last year, on Thursday Night Football, that's when the Browns got their first W in over, a year. Okay, when they came off the 0-16. So this would have been one of them games where the Jets could come out and make a statement and say, yo, whoa, we ain't the same Jets from last year. Although they did blow a 16-point lead this past weekend against Buffalo. But, man, no Darnold? Boy, I can't pick you guys to win, man. I can't pick you guys to win. I think the Browns will get on track. Everybody's going to start overhyping them again after they play a very good game. But that Jets defense is playing very well, too, now. Don't count them out. Don't think that the Browns just going to walk on the field and that offense is going to go out there and murder them. I think the difference is going to be that Browns defense is going to play so exceptionally well, it's going to shield the woes of their offense. Now, OBJ still talking about he going to go out there and wear a watch. Keep being selfish, brother. Watch how quick you end up out of Cleveland and then some other team. Now you're going to end up on losing teams for your whole career. Get your head out of your butt cheeks, okay? But offensively, I think Baker Mayfield could be able to move the ball effectively against this Jets front. But because that offensive line struggled all last game, I think it's going to continue. So utilize a Nick Chubb. Run the ball on the ground. Dump it off here and there. Use the pieces around you. Get the ball to Jarvis intermediate. You don't got to keep trying to take a shot. You don't got to, I'm going to hold on to the football. Because you turn the football over against the Jets, they're going to put the ball into the end zone. You just saw C.J. Mosley follow the train, C.J., and go into the end zone for a pick six. I got the Browns winning, but it's probably going to be a field goal. And last but not least, Steelers taking on the Seahawks. This particular game, only person who was on the, from what I saw, who was hurt was Roosevelt Nix. There was a ton of different people on the Steelers, who did get hurt. A Juju Smith-Schuster, a T.J. Watt, other guys on the depth chart, but nothing was too serious. The only person who's going to be gone is the fullback. So for this particular game, it's in Pittsburgh, season opener. Because of that, I am going to roll with Pittsburgh to win. I am biased. I'm a Pittsburgh fan. Now, always playing against Seattle, it's a great game. Seattle's no slouch. Okay, they didn't run the football well last week. I think they'll probably try to run it effective this particular week. But the thing with Russell Wilson is when he has a football in his hand, you got to get him on the ground. Because if he starts running and spinning and turning and twirling, you're going to have some problems, man. You're going to have some problems. You saw vertically down the field the Steelers secondary struggle. So I expect to see Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, vertical taking shots early. If I was Seattle, I'd take a shot early. Who's guarding me? Joe Hayden. I heard he walked off the field. He's a little bit hurt. Was it his hamstring, his knee, his calf, whatever it was? Let's test that out. Wham! Going deep, Russell Wilson. You might just get a touchdown. Who's covering me over here? Is that Artie Burns? Throw it. Hell, I might throw. If I was in the stands, I'd throw a touchdown on Artie Burns. I'm a turncoat whenever Artie Burns on the field. But we ain't talking about that right now. Okay? But I think the Steelers will be able to score. Okay? Because offensively, you did see the Bengals. John Ross had a game. So if John Ross can have a game against this Seattle front, I don't see why Juju Smith-Schuster can't. You see them trying to take the shot with James Washington. I expect to see that work. I think the Pittsburgh offense is going to be firing on all cylinders, and James Conner go mess around and have 150 all-purpose yards. Okay, it may be 90 on the ground, 60 through the air, 70 and 70, maybe 120 and 40. I don't know what it is, but he's going to have a game. Okay, that's my prediction. Russell Wilson's going to do well. He's going to do good. I think this is going to come down to a touchdown field goal, but the final 3 possessions will decide the game. But those have been my picks. I have the Panthers, Ravens, Bengals or 49ers, subject to change. Chargers, the Packers, Texans, Patriots, Bills, Steelers, Titans, Cowboys, Chiefs, Saints, Eagles, and Browns. Those are my picks. This has been your 2019 NFL Week 2 pre-game analysis prediction show. I am headed to the Shadow Realm.